but and then half the time it's or the other 25% of the time it's some kind of bastardized cross between a snake and a lizard, which is kind of spooky. Um, but it is interesting. It doesn't have a clue what Pac-Man is.
Really?
Oh my gosh. I thought that was strange.
Howdy, Mr. Art.
How you doing?
All right, how are you?
Just sitting here thinking about you guys and your meters. I have a fluke someplace here in the mess in my office.
Well, you still have a week to find it.
Oh, we're not doing that until next week?
Yeah, that's next week.
That was
Oh, okay. I wondered why I didn't see a bunch of meters on the table there.
Well,
So,
Steve brought some meters.
I brought meters.
He was confused as you are.
Yeah.
it was homework from Ray, but Ray forgot to well, Ray mentioned, but most people probably didn't realize that he was to be out of town this week. He'll be here next week.
Next week.
okay.
And it
Because he's bringing some, and I think he's planning to pass them out.
yeah, I think he feels sorry because all I have is Harbor Freight meters.
Got 3 or 4 of those too.
I
I
use
don't
them
like
to
the-
check batteries. I don't care.
Well, that's the thing is they don't
Yes,
give right voltage.
thousandth of a volt accuracy.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're worse than that.
It's close enough. Put it in. Nope, that ain't working.
Like I said, I use my
Is it green, yellow, or red?
I have the red ones.
Yeah, I'm talking about the battery checkers.
Do I?
Battery checkers, they have their accuracy is they've got a green section, a yellow section, and a red section.
No, I use the red multimeter from Harbor Freight, and its accuracy is at best.
Yeah.
Usually if it's above 1.2 volts, it's fine, but
I went through all those Prius batteries with the little, I don't know, yellow or orange one or something. I'm assuming they're Harbor Freight, and they're the first one I grabbed out of the stuff from my buddy Eddie that passed away, and because I couldn't find mine, and it said half my batteries were down to 5 volts, and I was like, man, that's not good. And then 1 or 2 of them were at 6 volts, and I'm like, well, I used those to rebuild my pack, and then I had about 7 or 8 more of them. I was like, I went to post them on Facebook. I think somebody could probably, need them and to charge them back up. And I found my good battery when somebody finally did find them. And when I used my like Sears multimeter, they were saying they were 1.5 volts higher. So,
Really?
yeah.
yeah.
So I was like, well,
I've gotten different.
that's a big difference.
Me.
Sorry, I didn't get the memo.
What memo?
The one that said uniform of the day is black t-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
This group, are you kidding? That's always that doesn't look like a monitor.
No.
It isn't. Well, it is.
Oh, it's on top of the envelope.
Dropping the screws.
Dropping screws. Dun, dun, dun.
That's a cute little thing.
That would be what? A wireless display? Like a video.
It said it is
I'm brain dead.
I live there.
A complete unit. Let me see.
Like a car dash.
no, this is out of a treadmill,
Oh, out of treadmill.
but this is a complete monitor and display. It's a again, pretty good.
Like play movies while you walk.
that among other things.
HDMI. VGA.
Oh,
What's it?
this would almost be like. Maybe, no, maybe no, maybe like a car stereo. Maybe deal.
Is it a touch screen?
Yes,
Oh, nice.
so I, it's a tablet. It's what I've been struggling to say.
It's one of them.
It is a touch tablet that has been adapted to use with a,
Treadmill.
and so this is a treadmill. I brought it only for interest of completeness.
My friend's got like I don't know if it's a treadmill or a stationary bicycle or something that you can like ride roads in different parts of the world and it, shows you where you're going on the screen while they're pedaling, if they're walking or something. But he likes to make fun because he does Europe a lot, and he complains to them that they didn't have Ukraine as an option before it got all blown to pieces. So now they, give them grief.
There's a Hall effect sensor. And some other sensor.
Does this look like it would fit your TV? Or is it too big?
Says it's 6.5 by 4.4.
Yeah. That looks like it could. Okay, I did not bring it today.
I thought you were gonna. That's why I brought my power supply.
Well, I erred.
Well, he brought other toys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just fire it up.
Yeah, I thought I had one, and then I looked at mine, they were LGs instead of Samsung. Then I wasn't entirely sure that they had the same connector, and I looked up,
When I looked it up, it looked like it would take a barrel connector.
it's a barrel connector, yeah. The one I got's kind of weird. It's still barrel, but it wasn't sure what the dimensions were.
So this is contact on the outside, on the inside, and the pin is separate.
Okay.
On Dell, also this one has a little lightning. On a Dell, when you plug it in, the computer communicates back to the power supply and says, what sort of Dell power supply are you? If it doesn't respond, it'll pop up a message and say, oh, you could damage your computer, blah, blah, blah. But
We're gonna run in low volt mode.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, this is the situation. I went up to the dumpster and sitting right on top is this really nice 27-inch monitor.
yeah, that still sells for $100.
Yeah, so I put it in the car and I don't think about it until I get home. And a couple of days later, I get it out and I start looking at it. Well, it's way too late to go back to the dumpster and look for a power supply at that point.
You know what? I didn't even think about it. That monitor that I bought from Micro Center a couple months ago, that was a Samsung.
Yeah.
I bet it has the same power supply.
Well, the 310, as far as I can tell, the 310 is the charger for that. And I thought, well, no problem. I'm sure I've got a power supply for that. So I go through and I, literally cover up the folding table with everything from 3.3 to 30 volts. And is there a 14? No.
Never.
And so I get out
I can't find a 12 when I need it. So.
well, I've got bags and bags. I don't have anything that looks like this.
That's a standard Dell power supply board.
Yeah.
HP used something like that for a while.
That was like 7.5, isn't it?
Yeah. The HP.
That was
power
like
supplies
7.5 or,
won't
yeah,
fit.
barrel.
Yeah. Some of the HP laptops use the same size, but then the Dells said, I can't charge the battery or whatever off of the supply. Wow. whatever.
Well-
Dell uses two barrel sizes, like 7.4 or something, 4.4.
Yeah,
And
well,
Yeah,
and
I've
it
got
does,
a Dell
I
that's
don't
got
think
the
they
little
talk,
tiny, you know.
they definitely don't talk back to the computer or whatever, because the Dells just kind of go foreign power supply or whatever it is that they say.
yeah, well, I've got three
Not gonna charge, not
that
gonna
say they're
charge.
Dell, but they have green light instead of blue or white.
Really?
Yeah, and the Dells say I can't talk to that. So I think
They're
they're
not-
Chinese
They're
clones.
I've got some Dell chargers that have got a green light on the brick,
Yeah,
but just all of the cables are blue.
yeah. Well, the new generation stuffs, they're white ring, and these are green, and and I plugged them in, they powered up, and like the first one was like, all right, and I got three of them, right? So I got all three of those 3080s or whatever without the, or 7080s without the power supply. I had to order supplies for them, and of course I went cheap, and they said they were Dell on Amazon, but
I have Dell power supplies.
the 4mm or the little bitty.
No, no, I don't
Yeah.
have those.
But I managed to pick.
Tons of these.
Well, that was my thing. It's like $6 versus $40. So I was like, I'm going with the $6. And sometimes they power up and fine and they'll run, and sometimes they'll come up and say, hey, you don't have one I can talk to. It's so stupid.
All the Dells that I have seen that do that, somewhere in the BIOS, you could tell it to ignore and just charge the battery anyway.
Well, it's not battery. They're
Yeah.
actual desktops though.
Oh.
Those little square.
Somewhere in the BIOS, I bet
Yeah.
it says just ignore the.
But then it
charging
runs in low mode, and it runs like a dead dog when it is. You can tell a serious difference because I got all three running same time, right?
Yeah.
So I can. The concept was originally was to turn them into a little Proxmox cluster, but I managed to pick one up off Fast Track for a couple bucks, and it's a real Dell. So I got one good one now.
And you go,
And-
oh, yeah. this is
Yeah,
what it-
yeah. One that's just like this is, well, like I said, the one that I put like 16 gigs of RAM in, most of the time it doesn't care. It comes
Right.
up and runs fine, but then about every fifth or sixth boot, it's like, oh, that's not a Dell NIC, and I'm like, screw you, turn it off and put it back on the shelf for another week or three.
Well, my universal power supply, I've got a couple, and I can't find any of them, but they're really, really nice. You plug a tip in and it says what the voltage is on the output, and it'll go from 5 volts to 19.9 volts or whatever.
Yeah.
And they actually identify as Dell.
So
When you plug them into a Dell actually goes, okay.
I've got a set, but that 4.4mm or whatever, that stupid plug's so new. I don't think my set's got that.
Yeah, well, my set's older, but it's definitely got that tip
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, well, that tip's been around for
Ever.
30 years.
The problem is that tip will trigger it at 19 volts, not
Oh,
or 19 point
may I
whatever.
take this with me
Yeah.
to see whether it fits?
Yeah. You can have it.
So
Okay, and if it fits, I'll bring the monitor next time, if
Okay.
you will, and bring power.
Bring it
supply.
even if it doesn't fit.
Okay,
we
I got
probably,
alligator tips.
we probably could.
yeah,
power
but
that
you can't
thing
get
down.
in there, I'd have to
There's
disassemble.
screws. There's screws.
We probably could figure out how to power that sucker up.
Yeah, well, undoubtedly, if I take the back off of it, I can get to that, but
But-
it's one of those things where a logical person would say, they're not gonna throw away this really nice
Good monitor.
27-inch
Unless
HD
it's the power
monitor,
supply that does.
you know, without there being something wrong with it. And then the other side of it says, this is America. People throw things out because they get dusty.
Yes, and then people like you and me would come along and go, I want that.
It's a thing that Marla and I were talking about the other day. If we won the lottery, 400 and something $million,
Hi, Ray.
end up with what,
Hey, Ray.
270 in the bank. At really, really safe investments, that's $180,000 a month. And you've still got all that money in the bank when you die. Why clean house? Just buy another one.
My aunt used to say she had never seen a Brinks truck in a funeral procession. Julie, growing up, her father and grandfather were auctioneers. And she attended estate sales nearly
Oh,
every
yeah.
weekend. And her philosophy was, in the end, it's just stuff.
But it's fun to have stuff.
It's,
Yeah,
Sometimes. Depends on the stuff.
Yeah.
If it's broken trash stuff that
Mm.
should have been pitched 30 years ago, it's not as much fun.
well,
You
if I was having trouble dragging it home, saying,
Dead
oh, this is
raccoon,
junk, and taking it
you know.
out front in the trash.
You know, dead raccoons, dead cat, you know,
Patty went
rusted through sheet metal.
somebody threw away like a really nice looking 72-inch television. And I'm like you. Okay, they threw this away because there's gotta be something wrong. But it's a block from my house. Let me just take it home and see
Check it.
what's wrong with it.
Yeah.
And Patty's like, no, it's in the trash. You can't have it. Like, back in the day, we would have grabbed that sucker and ran.
Yeah. This same dumpster that the monitor came out of about a year ago, I looked in there and there is an oak chest, cedar lined oak chest. And it's like maybe 50 inches by 28 by 24. It's a big, heavy set. Well, I get up inside the dumpster and I'm struggling to get this thing out of the top because it's not coming out the side. If it's heavy, it's got to be over 100 pounds. So I get this bright idea. I'll get the screwdriver and take the lid off of it. That will give me a better place to grab it, and it will reduce the weight. So I take all of the piano hinge, take all 25 screws out of it, and that works okay. But the lid lifters, I can't get them loose. So now I have
At least lid on top of
a
it.
loose lid, a finger biter on top of the whole thing. So I eventually get it out, drag it home, and I disassemble it. I tell Julie, figure out where we're gonna put this, because once I put it back together, that's where it's going to be. It's not moving.
Wow. Patty is. We used to go and find stuff like all the time. Patty has gotten to the point where we've got nice stuff. She doesn't want somebody else's junk. And I'm kind of like, yeah,
What's the
but it's a
workshop for?
72-inch TV.
Well, you need a little workshop or a
Yeah,
garage.
wow.
Just saying.
If I lived in a house,
Yeah.
things might be a whole lot different, because there would be a large garage somewhere, just like his garage, completely full of stuff.
Because
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Theoretically,
I've seen your garage. It's going to take you years before you get rid of all that stuff.
there's a house for sale in town that they just dropped it to 92,000. And I was like, oh, with that, I can afford that. It's a 2,200 square foot house with like a dual car garage. And it's like deep, it goes back to, it's like you could fit 4 cars in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, that's a good price. That house is shot to shit. The whole inside has been gutted and it's been sprayed for mold. And it's like half the drywall's cut out of the house. So there's no insulation. And then I was like, well, it's got a brand new roof on it, and they've done some work. So the plumbing for like 1 bathroom's done, if it's done well. And that's questionable. There's no drywall in that area of the house at all.
So it would be a project.
Oh, it'd be a project and a
Very
half.
easy to fix the plumbing if there's no drywall.
Yeah.
Well,
And then the outside I thought was in good shape in the pictures, and went up and looked at it, and half the outside, it's wood slatted siding. The half the wood's like dry rotted, and the boards are broke off. And then my buddy that does that kind of work, he said, that's gonna hurt. He said that's gonna cost some serious dough. He originally was saying, oh, that's not too bad, we just spray it with this stuff. He said what chemical it was, and so you just retreat it. And he said we went over there, and like under the windows it's like rotted through, and like two of the boards had fallen off, and he's like, the board bees or whatever have, or wood bees or whatever, bored holes through all the.
And those holes are they're so smooth and cool. They're like a half an inch in diameter, precisely all the way down.
Yeah. But I was like, yeah, I mean, the porch though, it's really nice. The front yard, you know,
You
it's
can't live
solid.
on a porch.
Well, I'd say the porch side of the house is all, you know,
On the bright side, the mailbox is okay.
I don't think it had a mailbox.
Well,
It is a neat looking house. It's a 1950s. It's been upscaled a few times. It was rebuilt in 90, I guess, or something it said, but they have an open floor plan, like all the ceilings go all the way to the roof in all the rooms, and then the second half of the house it's like a lofted over the entryway. It's real pretty looking if it, you know, you had the time to redo it all. But I guess it had sky roof or skylights through the whole house,
Mhm.
and the roof must have just totally went, and then you can see where it all water had gotten in the walls and come down. And
Skylights always look good.
yeah,
They're never a good idea.
well, if they're done right, but these were,
Never a good,
you know,
I'll stand on that.
70 years old. They have leaked a few places, but that's what they put a brand new roof over all of that. So it's like you can see through where the skylights used to be, and you see all brand new plywood, you know, where they just roofed, you know, instead of redoing stuff and trying to fix the ceiling, they just laid all new plywood and nailed a roof on top. So
Yeah.
I don't know if
It was
they even
fun.
bothered to rip off the old roof. They probably didn't. So that's another mess probably underneath it.
Yes, and I looked at a house once that I thought was just wonderful. It had a 6-car garage with one door big enough for a semi. It had a
Nice.
4-post rack, lift. It had an attached trailer, and she's like, there's no way in hell I'm gonna live in a trailer. Like, but look at the garage. You can put the house in the garage.
That's what if me and Patty ever
Yeah.
hit the lottery or whatever,
Yeah.
I'm getting it.
Whole barn house.
At least a 4-car garage, at least 2 stories tall.
Yeah.
At least, at minimum, I don't care where we live, I want a garage.
The guy that used to live next to us said, I don't care whether my next house has indoor plumbing as long as it's got a 2-garage.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to put probably 2 lifts in it, and at least
If you
At
win the
least a
lottery, you
lot.
don't need the list, you just say,
Somebody else do the
take
work.
it,
No,
bring it back.
I want the lifts.
yeah, you want the lifts.
Because you want to build your own, play with your own toys.
You want
Yeah.
you want to be able to. You want to be able to call your buddies up and say, "Hey, come over and let's tinker on this project or whatever."
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if we ever finish it. We just want to tinker. We just want to mess.
My
Well,
dad had the right idea. He built a 5-car garage. It was 2 bays,
Yeah.
and 2 garage doors. To
Right.
get the inner car out, you
Yeah.
had to pull the first car out, and then a 5th car across the back with steps between going up to the apartment upstairs.
That's
That was
crazy.
when Mom and Dad were kind of wondering what was going to happen in the next couple of years, and Dad's like, I'm building my house now.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, right? You got a 4-bay thing with garage doors on both sides, so you can pull in one and drive out the other.
Mhm.
You got the lift.
Ray probably could hook you up with a spare warehouse area.
Yeah, yeah. But then you've got the 2, you've got at least 2 stories. So one of those bays was going to turn into like, at least one of those bays was going to turn into like the computer room / man cave with like a theater kind of deal, because I hit the lottery, so I can.
Well, you put your dollar down to buy your lottery ticket, not because you're ever going to win, but because you enjoy the,
Dream.
the fantasy.
My philosophy has
Well-
always been, God can't give it to you if you don't try.
Yeah,
Got a
Patty,
meeting somewhere.
Patty has been fascinated for 10 years probably on tiny houses. She wants a tiny house. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. As long as I get my 4-car garage, I don't care.
Tiny house and big garage.
Yeah, basically,
Park your tiny house in my garage.
yeah.
so where's Ray today?
Tampa, Florida.
So are you coming back next week?
Short answer, no.
Oh, but
I'm sorry.
you are supposed to be here with multimeters, many multimeters.
Yeah, I know, but I have been scheduled all over the planet.
Well,
So next week I'm gonna be in Seattle, and then the week after that I'm already scheduled. I don't even know where I'm gonna be there then.
we'll call Carol up and schedule you to come here. How's that?
You might try that. Yeah.
They got
Break out your credit card.
library, right?
Yeah. I've got a service call at Midpoint Library, Westchester. Very specifically,
Yeah.
5 p.m. on Thursday.
Yeah. No, she's got me scheduled out in Seattle and Spokane. So Spokane, Washington, Seattle, Washington. I could check my schedule, but yeah,
You're all
I'm
right.
told that I'm not available Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of the following week either.
Out
Um,
in Georgetown.
and I'm trying to close on one of my properties to sell it.
160. It had a 20 by 24 foot full car garage.
For those of you who came late, this is a small tablet, touch screen with wires.
Wire.
Nobody jumped up and said, oh, I've gotta have it.
Is that why it's here? Because it's got to go away.
It doesn't have to go away, but if anybody had even the slightest interest, it should go home with them. This is one of those things where it's like, I might use that in 15 years. Sold.
Be nice for a house automation thing. If you had
If
time
you
to do
could,
it.
if you could refresh firmware or something, that would be all right.
Well, we said if you just pull up a web page on it.
Well, it looked to me when I pulled it up that it was bootable. I thought it had an Android base on it,
Probably.
and that you could load apps to it.
From 2013?
That's an
It's
old.
been a long time since I even looked at anything associated with it.
It does have
An SD card slot.
well, and an actual
Yeah,
serial
RS
port.
485.
Two serial ports.
He needs some Wi-Fi.
Well, if you look, there'd be an antenna there, so.
Yeah.
The outside of this was labeled.
I don't see where that antenna plugs in at, but.
Yeah, see the new Hack 5 toy they announced?
Pineapple Pro.
Pineapple pager.
Oh,
Oh,
There's,
yeah.
there's where the Wi-Fi plugs in
Okay, micro SD, HDMI, USB host, USB OTG, 12 volts in, and then the other labels.
there. Yeah, it's running. I wonder if you could power it up off of one of the USB ports.
Right.
It's,
Mhm.
what is that, micro? Mini? I don't know.
Everybody's out
2013. Version 2.
showing the first day of DEFCON today.
Never been.
Yeah. Yeah, 3 or 4 times, that's a pretty good time.
Now, the name on this board is not something that you run across on a household basis.
Yeah, I know.
You know, stuffed goose.
Stuffed goose. Hey, that's a good.
So I was curious how that pulse thing, the sensor, the one odd little board,
A little spray.
no. Yeah, that one. It says that that is a chest pulse or chest. Yeah.
So that's the treadmill portion of it.
Mhm. But that is an input into that.
Yeah.
thing. And I had assumed it was a tube that you put around your chest as you breathe in, it stretches, so it changes the pressure in it. But that isn't a pressure sensor.
I'll say a pulse detector or something maybe?
Pulse
As I
oximeter.
recall,
'Cause some of them have metal things
Yeah.
that you hold on to.
That's
And it's
But
not-
it wouldn't say chest pulse, would it? Maybe,
Well-
maybe it measures through your,
it.
Voltmeter between.
It might.
They
Yeah.
say the cords are awfully short to reach out to your chest with some kind of.
well, this was part of it, a larger housing,
Yeah.
and then all of those.
it
As I
doesn't look like there
recall,
was
this is the
anything attached to
Nordic
that.
Track
Every, those 3 wires.
1500.
This is the logic one. What's it say? Come on,
Get it to focus.
focus.
Need more light.
No, light's not the problem.
Spotlight.
Teeny tiny, that's luck.
I think the thing I hate the most about all this super tiny pitch IC stuff is that I can't read any of them. I've still got 7400 series stuff. I can still read those.
Yeah.
They've got enough surface area to be usable.
You got a web.
People don't even know what
Side up.
74 LS series stuff is nowadays.
This is an EPCOS.
Hold on.
Piece of crap. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
probably the important. Well, I don't know. 42789 dash ZCFBB. That's probably the important. Maybe. That's probably the sensor.
I'm finding stuff for B4 2704. No. Yeah.
Well, try EPCOS 3245. That's the other prominent number that's on here. The other number's really, really long, and I doubt it's got anything to do with anything.
That goes is a division of TDK.
TDK,
Yeah,
okay,
used to make cassette tapes among other things.
that's what I thought, but okay.
I'm finding nothing for
nothing.
that.
Okay, well, there's a set of numbers on the label, and then there's a set of numbers on the board itself.
Yeah, you're not gonna find anything with those numbers,
The board numbers or the label numbers?
probably either one. So that won't mean much to Google, they'll just look at that as a bunch of numbers.
That's interesting. TDK bought Epcos in 2008.
That. If we,
That's what's on the label.
okay, well, that might, because it does say. CRC dat _1 polar CRC _1. See if that tells you anything. Polars, probably.
That weird lawn thing on there that only has 2 leads, I was kind of assuming was a transformer for one side. I figured it sat next to something else.
Did Polar bring anything out?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. Oh. Sensor. Well, it does make. They do make heart rate sensors. Polar does make heart rate sensors. It might be a custom part for this thing. Since none of the numbers seem to match anyway.
It would fit that is one side of a transformer too, because you can't hook anything up to mains in a heart.
Right.
They get really upset about that.
Yeah, I would imagine that works similar to those machines that sit out in like next to pharmacies or whatever
Mhm.
that check your blood pressure and all that. You put your hands up on the thing and it'll check your pulse and something else. I would imagine that's the same sort of deal.
Yeah, did you see anything on the surface of this long rectangular chip?
Nope, that's the one that I thought might actually be something. This one here just has numbers, which I don't think are going to tell us anything.
Because I can barely make out 2 rows of numbers.
Yeah, there's actually 3 rows of numbers. If you really. There's the name of the chip, then there's the first row, the second row, and then there's a third set of numbers down here.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that since these numbers go this direction and these numbers go this direction, that these two are related to each other and these two are related to each other. Of course, it could just be a space issue too.
That's fantastic,
be a
because
date
I can
on the
just
other
barely
side.
perceive that under regular light.
This camera's pretty good. It's not great, but that's not going to tell us anything.
No.
That's just a number. But the fact that Polar, when I search just Polar sensor, and they make heart rate sensors
Yeah.
and a few other sensors, that's what this thing is. That's probably how it works. There's probably on the handlebar or
Mhm.
something, there's probably some metal in there that
Yeah.
you grab a hold of.
It's amazing that they can detect 20 millivolts through a moving body.
Harbor Freight can do it.
Harbor Freight can do anything.
Harbor Freight can do it.
They have lots of stuff in Harbor Freight that I'm very satisfied with. I'm
Multi-
debating on, yeah,
Multimeters, not one of them.
I probably acquired 20 of those
Yeah.
things. So you get a coupon for one for free, and I'll go to Harbor Freight for a free meter, even if it is just a $5 meter. My kids all have one in their car. I have one in my car.
That's how I acquired
Mhm.
them. Back in the day when they didn't even require you to buy anything, they would just
Yeah.
walk in the door and hand you something. Here you go.
Freebie.
And those silly blue flashlights with the magnets, good magnets.
Yeah,
I've got they're not bad flashlights. I've got 4 or 5 of those.
well, I was in the ICU at the hospital about a month ago. And I was amazed at the technology that is in existence in the medical realm. But still, I'm tethered with probably 20 cords to all the stuff. I'm thinking 20 years from now. It's
Oh,
gonna be-
wireless.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those.
Well, if they get what they're trying to do, it'll just be a chippy everywhere anyway. That they put in you.
You're born, you get chipped, and
Yeah,
You know,
you die.
there was a,
so this is my favorite meter for general use, and it is from Harbor Freight. Since I already bought it anyway. That is an
Look at it.
AC or DC plant meter
Oh,
with minimum and maximum hold. So for working on a car, that thing is amazing. You want to see how much current your starter draws? Clamp it on the battery clamp, set it to DC amps, max hold, and go start the car. And you find out that a Fiat draws about 78 amps, and a Chevy draws about 170.
what's a 430.
What model is that?
I don't know. I've had that thing for years and years. What's the number on there, Leroy?
Sure, it's not made anymore.
No, that one, they've still got that model.
Yeah, that was
It's
probably-
not the exact same, but it's
Oh.
the same.
duh, it's right there. CM610A.
I'm just saying, it was probably made in America versus the stuff made in,
Hey,
I've got a Klein version that looks a lot like that.
Is it DC?
Yeah, I've got one that'll do DC and AC. Yeah.
This one was about $40 when I bought it. And it has a flashlight. The flashlight only comes on if you're measuring current.
I don't remember all the different features of the one I have, but I know that I've got a clamp on meter that does AC and DC amperage.
it's actually reading something on off my phone. I'm doing that, but it's reading something in the air.
You got a power cord there, reach over to the.
It shouldn't read anything. You gotta go around one conductor, not all of them.
Yeah. It's reading less than what it was in the air.
And you say, what was that, a CM?
CM610 Alpha.
I don't know what the current iteration of it is, but they do still have a AC/DC.
CM610A alpha.
It's
The airman.
$85 now. Honestly, it's worth $85. I have abused that poor little thing, and I don't normally use it with those leads, but those are the stock leads and they still seem to be working fine. I'd say my only fault is that it uses a 9-volt battery instead of 3 AA's, which I wish it did. But whatever, goes a long time on a 9-volt battery. Like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
There's a 600 model for 44.
I don't think that one does DC current.
Nope, this is AC.
And my most useful tool.
There's a 1000 model version though that'll do 1000 amp for 90.
You're doing a bunch of wire ties. That is the way to go. We're trying to scare off the purple.
You notice how I grabbed it, right?
So like a wire stripper or something. Or,
It's
For wire ties.
it grabs
Nylon
hold-
wire ties.
It grabs a hold of the
like this
thing
kind
and
of thing.
folds it.
Yeah. Could have a few.
And yes, I could see where if you were doing a bunch of wire ties, that would.
Oh, yeah. And if you've ever used the Harbor Freight one where you squeeze and then kind of twist, this is so much nicer. That thing, when I got it, luckily I didn't pay for it. Somebody else paid for it for me. That thing was $80. And it's like $250 now.
Oh,
Yeah. It is well made. I've had that since the 90s. I've trimmed tens of thousands of wire ties, and it's in fine condition.
So you're saying wire tie is really zip tie?
Yes. Got a good wire ties.
I usually take a pair of pliers and just yank on them really hard.
Yeah,
It's not fun. It works.
I know way too many people that use dikes to trim them, and then you've just got something that's going to shred your skin.
Yeah. Well, I don't use dikes. I use needle nose pliers usually. I rarely can get them tight enough though. It's just
I'm recalling probably 30 years ago, when I first ran across zip ties. And a friend of mine, I was demonstrating how well it worked. And his wife came in and said,
And you have to buy a special tool to pat those down to.
I was like,
Will now.
kind
Oh,
of a nasty.
That's a
program.
very-
It was-
small one.
I hate zip ties.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
because they're a pain in the ass.
nice.
Till the end of it.
Well, yeah, that's nice. And then how you get it off without messing up your thing? You
Well,
know,
a little
just
slide on
it off.
that.
You know, you said
But I mean-
that's a 1/4 of an inch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice tight.
You know how many wiring harnesses are screwed up to this
That's rougher than I expected.
stupid crap?
Well, you can set this to where it cuts with almost no tension.
Yeah, well, I'm just,
Yeah, this is human. Why would you need to zip tie your Altoids?
So I don't drop all the chips that are in there.
That's not horrible though.
Yeah, but again, that's,
Nice.
That's enough to make you irritated.
yeah, probably had it too low.
That would be just fine for me.
Yeah.
Mine are usually way worse than that.
That's fancy.
So that was a 2. Let's try it at a 3. Nobody's getting in this outdoors box.
Not what my pocket knife says, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's well, that just broke the end off
That
of it.
just, that made it worse.
Yes, it did. Yeah,
That's about as good as I do with a pair of needle nose
Yeah.
pliers.
nope. Now I don't have enough of the tail left.
Need a smaller box of Altoids.
I do. To not have my thumb in it.
So you don't want to cuff your thumb to your pen?
If nobody's going to take that, I'll take that one. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it.
That's normal.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nothing at
wow.
all sticking out.
There's nothing there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah, and it does that with every size.
As long as you get it adjusted right to start with.
Yeah. And once you adjust it, it doesn't change. It stays there.
Now, if you want your pen back, gotta mar it up with a clipper.
It'll be fine.
A long time
Fine.
ago, I was outside of Chicago on a facility that had a metallizing gun. They had a little booth and the guy had a supplied air respirator. He says, give me a quarter. So I give him a quarter, he paints it with release agent, fires up the metallizing gun, which is sprayed on atomized zinc. He sprays the quarter. And then it's at the end of the week. I am tired. I'm ready to leave. I've been at this facility every day for 12 hours a day for a week. And he can't get the quarter to release out of the metallizing. So he's, I'll come over, I'll grind them. It's like, just keep the quarter. I don't want the quarter. I just want to leave. And he's insisting that I get the quarter back. Just like, at some point, you don't care whether you get the pen back, just take the damn thing. But what I didn't realize is that I had developed a case of metal fume fever from the metallizing until about 2 o'clock the next morning when it hit me. I was so sick.
Never even heard of that one.
What, metal fume fever?
Yeah.
It is typical of people who burn on galvanized material with a burning torch. Or if
Yeah, I
you-
know that's nasty stuff.
or if you weld on it. Cadmium to a lesser degree than zinc, but both of them are. So the home remedy is milk. And the theory goes that the milk that people drank at the end of the Indy 500 was from the fact that many of the mechanics and drivers in the early 500s would have metal fume fever from the exhaust of the engines.
Leaded fuel.
When leaded fuel plus whatever else they had going on with it. Produce it.
Our B2040s. I don't even know what the.
That is a digistamp. Well,
Not
it's,
directly, it's a clone.
it's a clone of a digistamp, yeah.
And a,
Digispark, it actually says Digispark there.
well, lots of stuff that comes from China says one thing, means another.
Yeah, well,
You got a magnetic end on this one.
On two of them.
Oh, I didn't see the other one.
No. This one.
That would be why I didn't see it.
that's why you didn't see it.
That little display is actually a lot of fun.
A little matrix.
Yeah. Yeah, you got one. I'm like, that's kind of cool. So I bought one. I think it was like $4. I don't know. I can't buy the
You can't buy,
addressable LEDs for the price I got the whole thing for.
yeah. Oh, where's my camera? There it is. Yep. And some 2040s. And it's Digispark. I think this company is struggling anymore.
Yeah.
Their website hasn't been updated in a while, but a lot of the stuff is still there on how to do stuff.
And these things are a godsend for doing house wiring.
Yep. Or wiring.
Well, they don't work well on anything below 18 gauge. Or at least not nearly as well. The problem with those is you are not getting the wire back out. It says you can. It's a lie. Need toys? Good to learn MicroPython on. That's what I do at work.
Oh, yeah. MicroPython,
Yeah,
use a lot of that at work.
not MicroPython. And I,
Something to do at work.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Probably why I should be doing other things. Or not.
Well, with AI, create all your Python for you.
except it was this specific version. That's one of the things I hate about Python.
Yeah.
I
Can't change it.
Learned this. I started programming in BASIC.
Yep.
And yeah, there was some weird things. If you're on an Apple, there's the HGR command, which you didn't have in DOS, but for the most part, 98% of everything ran anywhere you had BASIC.
The biggest difference between basics that I found was either graphics or sound, or both.
Mm-hmm.
Almost everything else, because a lot of the computers of the time were all 6501 based.
Yeah.
So a lot of the peaks and the pokes would do the same things or similar things.
Yeah, the peek and poke was definitely machine specific, but the command was still there.
Yeah.
And there were even tables of on an Apple II, it's this, on a Commodore, it's this.
I had a big list of
Yeah.
what peaks and pokes would do for whatever. But the biggest, Commodore implemented their own graphics, and Apple had their own typographic, and everybody, that was the biggest difference. And I had a TI, which wasn't based on Microsoft. Yeah, it wasn't based on Microsoft Basic at all, and it still would run just general basic programs.
There's a compiled basic for Linux that makes elves, and it works.
Yeah. Basic was kind of cool.
And it has a pretty decent library for doing ASCII-based menuing and stuff. So that's what I do most of my stuff in.
The first compiled basic I used was Turbo Basic.
Mhm.
That was awesome.
I have full box sets of Turbo Pascal, Turbo Basic, Turbo something else. I have 4 in-box Borland products at work that I'm wandering around and they're sitting on somebody's desk. You using that? No. I have it. Sure. That's a $600 product 27 years ago.
27 years ago. And now if you compile anything with Turbo Basic, it runs incredibly fast. Like, yeah. You start it and you go, it finished. Wait, did it actually do anything? But there was a library that came out 25 years ago for Turbo Basic that was supposed to slow it down for modern machines. But now even that's obsolete because modern machines are faster than they were 20 years ago.
Yeah. One of the issues that you have if you're running old DOS stuff in an emulator is it doesn't do timing the same way anymore. So you have to run something called DOS idle,
Yeah,
which I don't know how it works, but it does seem to work pretty well.
it
But
takes the timings.
yeah, but you still need to use it in stuff like Windows 3.
Does 3 go too fast?
It does. One of my favorite projects when I worked at the law firm, one of the women there brought in a laptop that wouldn't boot. And she's like, can you get my genealogy stuff off of it? Give it a try. And the screen was out, but it still booted. And it had a VGA display and everything. Okay. So I was able to actually load it up and she said, yeah, that's the stuff I want. Okay. And I copied everything off of this Windows 3 machine on a serial card, on a serial cable. And it really didn't take that long. I made a booting Linux CD that had VirtualBox that auto-booted and auto-booted her Windows 3.1 image, and it worked. She was happy as a clam. She could do her genealogy stuff there at work just by rebooting her computer off of a CD. Couldn't make any changes though. Nobody was allowed to live or die.
If you would have used, what was that CD called?
Rewritable.
No, not the rewritable. Was it ROM? CD-ROM?
Oh, CD-RAM.
RAM.
Yeah. Now,
You could have rewrote, so you could
Sort
have
of.
actually changed stuff.
the way that worked was it just made a table that said, don't pay attention there.
Pay
Use
attention here.
over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you were close, you really, I mean, depending on how much stuff you had on there, is what determined how much you could save.
Yeah.
They weren't really RAM. But they were kind of neat.
No, I get they weren't, it wasn't really RAM. But it didn't require sessions and all that other stuff. It just sort of made a continuous. And to the end user, it would appear to be a continuous
Yeah.
disk. Yeah, well. You give up.
I gave her a thumb drive with her files on it, so she was okay. But it was Family Tree Maker 2 or something, and nothing would read that stuff, I don't think. I don't know. She just wanted to look at it. Okay.
The weird thing about CD-RAM, what almost every CD-ROM will do something with it. Almost every one of them. I don't know. I'm just here.
I'm just thinking of all of the obsolete memory systems.
Oh, yeah.
Bubble memory.
Well, that's why we can't land on the moon now, right? Because nobody knows how to do it anymore.
Well, they lost cards out of the deck.
Yeah,
Only 3 of them. What could go wrong?
nobody knows how to do it on 4K memory anymore.
That's the
true.
problem. Yeah. We need 14 trillion gigs to do what we did with
Slide
4K.
rules in a 4K RAM.
And that's
And,
just,
and 1 megahertz processor.
and that's just for the little logo display. They'll have to import that.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I never realized. I was watching a thing the other day because it was the 60th anniversary, I guess, for the Apollo landing,
Mhm.
and so they didn't steer that. Buzz only did the landing. The rest of that was done by the front row technicians with the slide rules, in Houston or whatever. That they did all the flying. I had no idea that was all remote fly. But,
It was just minor adjustments here and there.
yeah,
It was
well, yeah, that's what they were saying.
90% was, it's
It-
already aimed the right direction.
Well, so far, that's what they were saying is like it was all precision calculations. So everything, like any tweak or touch, you couldn't do it by hand. So that is like it was the guys, and they had a breakdown of what row did what, and said the front row had all their acronyms, and they were all mathematicians. The guys in the second row were all systems guys that were like electricians, and and then the third row of guys were like command module guys that were, reading in all the telemetry and making sure that they were on course and talking, if the astronauts were alive and monitoring their heart and all that kind of stuff. And it's real interesting. And they had some of the guys, because I guess they did like a documentary like 10 years ago or 15 years ago, and they were interviewing some of them talking about the language and how they talked, because it was all acronyms. There was no time, and they said for training, they'd listen to like 15 phone calls simultaneously because there'd be 20 or 30 different people telling them information, and they'd have to shift through all the stuff coming at them to pull the 2 or 3. Oh, well, this system needs to be adjusted or that needs to be tweaked. It was real interesting, listening to what all they, and it was kind of funny because even a couple of the guys that were like the commander for 15 and 16, he'd sit there and just rattle what it was like talking. He's like, oh yeah, he's like TBCB by the far 45442, TBDDDR,
If you listen to air traffic control, that's how it sounds to me anyway.
Yeah.
It's just all a bunch of acronyms that,
That's why I can't do that.
yeah.
No joke. You remember the "That's Easy" button?
Yeah.
I've got a Pico in one of those. I hit it and it pauses the TV. Because if Marla talks to me, I have to pause the TV, because otherwise I'm going to miss something. Of course, normally what she wants to talk to me about is the part that she missed because she's playing 3 games on her iPhone. Well, who's that person? That's the guy that was also in episode 3 and 5 that does X.
So mine is, I have to stop whatever it is I'm watching. But it's twofold. I can't hear Patty talking to me.
Right.
Because she's usually in the living room trying to tell me something
From the other room.
from a room away, and she's just talking. Maybe she's maybe she talks a little tiny bit louder. But I can't hear her. And I keep the volume down pretty low, so I should be able to hear. But if she actually walks in the room, she wants to just gab.
Yeah, get my attention so I can shut off what I'm listening to, so that I can understand what you're saying, because I cannot understand two separate conversations about different subjects, or even the same subject.
Well, it's not even that. It's just I'm trying to do something, and here you are. And you're talking to me from the other room. You already know I can't hear.
Yeah,
I'm already deaf. Why would you talk to me from the other room?
It is surprising how frequently I say, hold on, I can't hear you. I'll be in a minute. If I'm doing something, or even if it's something fairly quiet, I was cooking bacon the other whole pound of bacon all at once. And yeah, over the sizzle, I could not hear her. She's in another room. I don't know.
So it's not just Patty.
Oh no, it
No.
is females. That
Well,
okay. I fully admit I'm very sexist. I want a female doctor, a GP. I want a male surgeon. The guy that's got a knife, I want to not recognize that there is anything else in the world except for the hole in my body and his abilities. And as far as a doctor goes, a GP, I want her to be able to think more than one thought at a time.
well, it's funny you should mention that. This was a long, long time ago. I had abdominal surgery, and whenever I would lean up and my stomach would hit the desk, I'd get this sharp pain from inside. So I go back up to Cleveland Clinic,
It's
and
the pendulum.
no, it wasn't bad at all. They had used some really heavy plastic sutures, like heavy duty fishing line, and they tied them off at the end and just cut them with a very sharp instrument. So it's like barbed wire on the inside, and whenever I lean against it, it's poking me from the inside. So I explained to the surgeon what's going on. He said, "Oh yeah, I know what happened exactly." So I'm laying there on the table, and he numbs up this area right in front of me, puts a betadine on it, and starts cutting me open. And I don't feel any pain, but I can feel the incision going in my skin. And he says to the nurse, "Give me a crochet hook." I said, "Is that really a crochet hook?" He's like, "Just what you call it." She goes, "Oh no, we run these through the autoclave." So he digs around there and starts pulling on this, and I'm turning it inside out. The people at work said, "You watch this? What's right here?" I can't
There's
avoid
nothing
it.
else on.
And so he comes up with the end of these really three sharp things. So he's getting ready to cut it. I said, "Before you do that, is my butt gonna fall off?" He was in an entirely different world. He was focused on that. A bomb could have gone off and he wouldn't have known it. So I turned to her, the nurse, and said, "I guess he's heard that before."
I always said that I want my doctor to be older than I am, because I figured they've got experience. But my mom, who she's going on, she's got close to 81. She wants a younger doctor, but she figures they've got better skill, or not better skills, but they've got better
motor skills,
Yeah.
9 yards.
better newer modern training and everything. And I'm like, maybe there's a point to both of them.
depends on what you're having done and what they're there for, what they're there for, 'cause some of them are.
Well, she's had a lot of eye work done here recently. And her eye doctor, I would swear it has to be about 20. But she's close to 40. She looks really, really good for a 40-year-old.
I think the limiting factor for me and physicians is if I have to grab them by the shirt tails and drag it, keep them from running out of the room when my 5 minutes is up, because I haven't told you everything
Yeah.
that you need to know. That's time for me to change to a different doctor.
Right.
Marla
Well,
has a doctor,
come on,
unfortunately, up in Oxford. But he's amazing. He doesn't take insurance. We pay him $75 a month. She can call him anytime. I go in with her most of the time. And he comes in the room and he talks to her for 45 minutes or an hour every time she's there. And he says, do you have any, he talks to her. It is amazing. My doctor's like, how you doing? Okay, here you go. I would like to switch to her doctor, and I could, but if I ever need anything big, he doesn't take insurance. Though on that, blood tests, $12. And I mean, his costs are amazingly reasonable. And she talks to him a lot.
Yeah, well, so this is the thing that you go in and you talk to the doctor and the physician says, I apologize for you having to wait. It's like, no apology necessary, because you're gonna spend as much time with me.
Because you did that last day.
Yeah, as I need, or you need for us to work this out. And if it's a delay because you've done that with a prior patient, I'm okay with that. I'd rather you took the time to get the correct treatment as opposed to being on a 15-minute schedule.
I'm okay with that to a point. Because when the car was being worked on, I took mom to a doctor, eye appointment. They had one patient who was not overly cooperative, apparently. And it set the entire place back 2.5 to 4 hours. And I'm okay with, 15, 20, maybe a half hour. Fine, you're dealing with an uncooperative patient. But when it becomes a couple hours and you're just sitting there twiddling your thumbs, when it was supposed to be an in and out kind of deal, maybe a half hour, maybe 45 minutes. That's it. And it turned out to be an entire day thing. She was there from the time they opened to just before they shut the doors and walked out. That is way too long.
Well, that's where the office staff says, oh, I know this patient. We're gonna put them the last patient on the last appointment.
I say that you get something like where my dad went in to see his dad and then he had a hernia rupture. Well, went to get up in the room with the doctor there. So they went on and took him into the thing and did the surgery on him, and he ended up in the bed right beside Grandpa.
I get that stuff happens, but
that's what they say, you feel for the next.
it would be great if they would have just come out and said,
Yeah, something's wrong. Yeah.
something's going on. Can we reschedule you, or do you want to stay, or whatever? I mean,
Giving you the option.
Yeah.
it was, you're here, you're going to sit here for
Hours.
6 flipping hours.
Well, I've spent many times in the ER waiting 12 hours and never saw the doctor. They just wanted to make sure I didn't have a concussion, and then by seeing if I had a concussion was just to make sure I was still awake in 12 hours, and Like, I'm sorry, yeah, somebody could have come in and at least said hi.
if there's a method to their
They killed
madness,
you.
but
Yeah.
I actually I was extremely upset with, you know, it's supposed to be a half hour. Sure, it might be 45 minutes. Okay, no big deal. But 1.5 hours later, we're still sitting there going, when are we coming out? It's time for us to go home.
Middletown Hospital emergency room is notorious for that. When Julie's grandmother was still alive, Julie would have to go to work and her brother would have other stuff, so they never want to go home. And so I'm left there with her grandmother. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. And her grandmother wakes up and looks around and says, "How come I always get you?"
Just lucky.
Well, let's see what Vicente's up to, because Vicente's been there all quiet.
Continue. I have a new multimeter.
Oh.
This is my last one. This is another one, same,
Okay,
different color.
well,
It's a newer red. It hasn't faded yet.
But you can buy it in blue, yellow, orange. But the new one doesn't
don't
work.
all the colors.
Gotta catch them all.
The new one doesn't work as supposed to work. I need to check what's going on.
Came from Korea.
Do you remember that I like the continuity check that works instantly? I don't know if you can see. You can hear this. You hear the tone?
I didn't hear it.
No. Nothing.
It's not coming over
Is that continuity?
continuity. Yeah.
No.
The old one's a lot faster than his new one.
I think your low pass filter is blocking it.
Yeah, it could be. It's not coming over the.
Let me check what it is.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, we're
No.
we heard the first time.
Something went doo.
It was right.
Oh.
I don't know where is my microphone. It's in my
Yeah,
earbuds.
it might be a filter though in the computer filtering the sound. It might be just the right hertz. It doesn't like it.
Maybe it's a 1 kilohertz. I don't know how to.
Pass.
It should pass.
not to cut you off. But Art, what does your t-shirt say? Vaccines cause.
Can't see it.
Stand up.
Let me do this.
No.
Uh-oh.
Try to stand up.
All right, so I'm gonna
Naked. Get
Well,
undressed.
Vaccines
back.
cause.
vaccines cause
No.
Oh, are we getting there?
Adults.
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 That's it.
it's a counter on the anti-vaccine movement. The
Otherwise, you die young.
I'm sorry.
Otherwise, you die young.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
The message is that vaccines do more good than harm.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Great.
my wife buys me T-shirts that have these little messages on them. Some of them are frankly sufficiently insulting that I don't wear them, but most of them are just cute.
Well,
I have T-shirts like that also. One of my favorites though is, I'm here because you broke something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need that for when I get phone calls from the kids, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The other one is, these things take time.
Oh. My T-shirts generally just have a picture on them. For the most part. I don't try to say messages, I don't try to be clever, I just want Batman. Just Batman. Batman. But, Patty bought me a T-shirt not too long ago. And the other day she said, why don't you wear that T-shirt? It doesn't have a picture on it. It's just a plain blank T-shirt. And she's like, so? Gotta have a picture. I need a picture.
Well,
I'm weird, I guess.
Julie got me one and it has a picture of a cicada on it. It says the 2025 comeback tour.
Yeah.
They didn't come back that well, though.
No, they're a little quiet this year.
I can live without them.
Just odds.
They don't bother me. I
I'm
think
just glad to see some for a change.
the last time they were here, Thea was pretty young and one of them flew in the car window. I had to stop and get it out of the car. Those big red bug eyes
Well,
freaked her out.
it was what, 91, 89 or something, 91, 90, something like that, when we had the last batch out by me. That was any, numbers. I mean, they were everywhere then, but I was like, man, they called for this big brood and that brood and this brood, man, we had nothing out there where I live. And it's been, what, 33 years since we've had any of any
We've
substance.
got some, but not nearly as much as
It was like 5 or 6 years ago, I think we had.
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that was,
that
COVID
would
didn't seem to affect them.
that would be about right, because I think she was 5 or 6, so it
Well, wasn't like 2012 was like a double batch, we were supposed to get them so bad.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And we never even had anyone anywhere near me.
We
But
got
you'd
'em.
hear some along the valley and Ohio River when you come downtown, that was about it.
Growing up in Kansas City, we had them every year. It was just a given. And you could hear them pulsing. I never realized that they were cyclical. Until they did.
I kind of sort of remember. I mean, I think we get them every year, but we don't get them like
Yeah,
the plague of locusts or whatever.
yeah.
I think we get. I seem to hear them like every year, but you usually just hear them. You don't see them.
I don't know, it's been weird. I just thought that one year we didn't have any rain, the ground was super hard and they never came up.
Yeah.
We never had any since, hardly.
Yeah.
Back in the late 90s or whatever. Like 5 months of drought. We've never had locust worth a squat since.
So, does anybody wanna do anything special since Ray's not gonna be in town next week? Do we still wanna bring multimeters and play around with multimeters?
Guys, I am so sorry.
It's all right, Ray.
I gotta work.
You gotta work.
gotta do what you
We're
gotta
just
do.
going, we're gonna start calling Carol up and just try to
Oh.
get you scheduled in the middle of Middletown or something.
I was say we could just meet at Ray's garage and ransack it.
Ransack it. Yeah, there's plenty of stuff to do at Ray's place.
Get a CNC plasma cutter working and toss it in the truck and bring it home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss that.
Hey, I did buy one. I bought a what's it? Genmitsu, little CNC 3 axis, like a tabletop thing.
Yeah,
Found it on Facebook Marketplace for $125,
nice.
and I think it's called a 3018 desktop model. That's
Yeah.
something for me to play with, do some engraving, and play with some other software.
You still have some 3D printers for sale, Ray?
Yeah, I got like 20 of them.
What's the going rate currently?
Currently, I think the going rate is like $50 each.
Okay.
I got a whole bunch of them. So
I will, the youngest kid wants one.
there's a minimum purchase quantity of 3.
He said he's got $100 to spend. He could probably get 2.
That's
He
funny.
probably won't, but he could.
Well, if you get 2, then you could turn it into like a 2.5 3D.
Uh,
Do the
I'll throw in some used filament.
Yeah,
Used filament.
use the filament. I'll tell him that you've got them. And I'll give him your number and stuff, and if you two can work out a deal, then great. If not, then tough. He doesn't need it.
Yeah, I see them on Facebook a lot.
Yeah,
I never see them under $60.
okay.
I mean, it's rare.
Would be
The
about
ones I
right.
do see for $60, they're broken, or they're like, oh, it'll only take a little bit to get them working. But the ones that are actually in working condition, they're $85 and higher.
Right.
need $100 nozzle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. I'll let him know that you've got them now, and if you guys can work something out, that's fine.
Yeah,
He told me he had $100 to spend, and he wanted a 3D printer. And if he could get 2 of them for $100, so much the better for him. I mean,
Yeah.
so.
Well, now that we've got the H2D up and running and everything, my son just has no interest in touching the enders.
That's pretty
It
much
just
where I'm at with them too. Once I got that Cobra, it's like
yeah,
I'm not going back unless
the bamboo is just too easy to use, and you're not sitting there screwing around with them. But if I've got 10 things I need to make, I'll make 5 different things on the enders, and then I'll start up the bamboo.
right.
But when I was there a week and a half ago, I started up like 6 things on all the different enders, and then I sat there on the computer and I just made as many parts as I could fit on the work table for the bamboo. And I mean, I did 18 sets. I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna take 14 hours, which is still a third the time that the other stuff would take, the other machines. So I just told it to start going, and I'll pick them up in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the next morning I filled up my bin, and I was like, yeah, this is the way to do it.
Well, Ray, give me a call sometime when you want to set up a transfer to your makerspace.
Yes, I need to talk to you about that, and it's all good information for us both.
Well, yeah, just give me a ring. You've got my house number and phone number.
Yep. Okay.
Cool. I don't know, I'm just here again. I'll just be here again. I have your keyboard in the car. I just remembered, I have it. Oh, I brought it.
Oh, good.
You had a
Hey.
keyboard in the car.
He gave me a keyboard a month ago to play with.
Did you play with it?
Yeah. Patty said, why didn't you stick your old keyboard in there? You like this keyboard? I do like this keyboard.
So next week is the 14th.
Yep.
I'm
Next week is the 14th.
gonna check my flight schedule. I'll have to talk with Carol about my flight schedule. Is because that's actually my return day.
Oh,
So if I land at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, I could make the meeting.
Just on the way home.
Yeah. Yeah. Means I'd have to pack everything into the car or the van on Monday. So
what? That would be cool. And that may have been what you had said a couple of weeks ago, was maybe it. You were thinking you would be back in town.
If you can do that, can you bring along a couple of those little Wise diskless workstations?
yes, absolutely. So I'm checking my email while we're talking, okay, guys? And Thursday, August 14th, I will be landing in Cincinnati at 11:09 a.m.
Oh, plenty of time. Stuck in traffic and still be able to make it.
Yeah. So
If the bridge is out.
So
GVG.
you're saying we're back to multimeter heaven?
Multimeter heaven on Thursday. Yes.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna schedule the rest of that day is don't mess with Ray.
Don't mess with
Yeah.
Ray.
Yeah, multi buffet.
Yep.
Multimeter extravaganza.
That's it.
Cool.
I'll have enough time to get back to the office, grab all my multimeters, and then still go back to the library.
Yeah. Well, that sounds cool, because this will be your first in-person meeting. If you can make it, this will be your first in-person meeting for more than a year, probably.
No.
Think so.
Holy crap.
A while.
It's been a long while, Ray.
Oh my lord. Okay, well, I'll have gifts for everybody.
Oh my
Santa
Lord,
Ray.
this girl in a flatbed Ford slowing down to look at Ray.
Bring your ID with you to be sure that is you.
That's Ray. Yep, I put it in the calendar already. Saved it so Carol wouldn't mess with me anymore. Yep.
You know she's gonna find a way to mess with you, Ray.
You know, today I was on the Zoom call with you guys, and you might not have noticed because I didn't talk for very much. Carol called. I had to switch over to the line. I was like, Carol, what's your question? She's like, well, I just wanted to talk. I'm like, no, I'm done talking. I want to get back to my meeting. Oh, I forgot. Today was the day. Oh, Lord. All right, so we're back on. Yes. Multimeter heaven.
Woohoo!
Hell yeah. I'll get everything packed up and as many different multimeters as I can find. Yeah. And then plus some gifts for you guys.
That's
I love it.
kind of scary. As many different multimeters as I can find.
Yep.
Yep.
How many of them electrocute people?
So this isn't directly related. I'm at an airport, I'm traveling. And it's my habit to go to the next gate that I'm going to leave from, make sure everybody know where it is and how to get there. And then I was gonna go down get a bite to eat for breakfast.
They're snuggled down right.
I stand up and walk across and I look down and the flight that had just departed, there where people had been sitting is a driver's license and a credit card sitting in the chair. So I grab it, run up to the ticket agent or the people that are doing the boarding passes and say, somebody left us. And she goes on the airplane, comes back and says, oh, they're very appreciative of the fact that you turned this in. Well, you could get there without a driver's license, but you ain't get back. So I'm thinking it's time for me to go get a bite to eat for breakfast. I go down and it's a teeny tiny place, maybe the size of this conference room. And the cash register is about where the middle of the table is, and I'm over here. And so I'm sitting down having something minor thing. And a woman comes up with a cup of coffee and gives the cashier $100. When the cashier says, do you have anything small? She goes,
I'm gonna change for $100. That's how come I gave it to you.
she's just being nasty about it. So the woman says, fine. And so cashier gives her the change or the money and she drops one of the coins on the ground. The woman picks it up, gathers up her coins and her coffee and walks away, leaving all the folded money right there in front of the cashier.
Hilarious.
And the guy behind her comes up, says, excuse me, ma'am, you left this. And instead of saying, oh, thank you very much, I really appreciate that, she unfolds it, counts it. And it's like, the way that she had treated the cashier, if the cashier had seen the guy pick it up and put it in his pocket, she wouldn't have said anything. And the way I was, I'm not saying anything. So when Ray comes with his multimeters, and if he doesn't have a nasty attitude from being on the plane, we'll look at him.
I'm gonna bring you a broken multimeter.
He needs to practice.
It's good for testing dead batteries. Is that it?
Yeah, it's all dead.
Got to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah.
Keep Mike busy. He likes the challenge.
Again, that was 30 years ago with this woman in the cash. And just thinking about it and going over it, she was just an inhuman being.
I had a lady come into when I worked at Kings Island. I was doing the parking or whatever, and it was $4 back then. And first car in the line, she hands me $100 bill. I've got 100 singles and like 25 or something.
$300.
Well, no, it was 150. We had
Okay.
100 in singles and then like 50 bucks in fives, whatever that is. So like 10 of them or something. So I was like, all right, best way I can do this. I pulled $4 out of the 100 pack and handed her the hundreds or the singles. And she said, oh, hell no. I'm like, so, take it to the front cask and, just have them turn it back in. But that's all I got out here. You're the first car. What do you want? And she spent like the next 20 minutes digging through the trunk of her car to dig up $4 worth of quarters, pennies and nickels and whatever she could get that she didn't get 96 bucks in singles.
It costs $30 to park at Kings Island now.
Does it really?
Yes.
That's absurd.
Oh, I got one for you guys for parking.
Or whatever, but yes, it's $30 flipping.
All right, so I got one for you. You guys know I went to New York a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And my wife did all the planning and scheduling and what hotel and everything, where we're supposed to park our car. And she was just upset. We went into the hotel, the Hilton at New York, and parking was $124 for one night.
What?
Okay. One night. And it wasn't a come and go, like you could go to your car as often as you wanted. You dropped it off, and when you went and got your car back, that was the end of it.
$100 every time you move.
This
So-
include oil change or
No, no. Did not include oil change. Here's the kicker. Here's the even worse part of it all. She made all these plans like a month and a half in advance, and she had already paid for parking 2 blocks away in a parking lot. So she paid $94 a night for parking at this other location. But she was upset at the spur of the moment and paid another $124
But not
at the Hilton Hotel. So that one night of parking cost us $218, $208. Oh my God.
That's why we stay in New Jersey and take the tunnel.
park it at the long-term parking at
use
the
Uber.
airport and
Yeah.
take the shuttle.
Take a shuttle to the Hilton. That's a great way to think about it.
Yeah.
That's what I do in Boston and Baltimore.
Oh Lord, I never
Pull
thought
right
about
into
that.
the parking lot, park at the airport and take the tram to the hotel.
Wow.
DC. I have no idea what any of the parking cost. I stayed at a campground. It was $22 a night.
Been
Well-
cheaper to get a campground site
Yeah.
and leave the car there than.
That,
Yeah, yeah, it was on the metro line.
Yeah.
We've had pretty good luck staying out at Silver Springs and using the metro.
Yeah, I love the metro in DC.
Oh, yeah.
That is just
So we're
probably the best public transport I've ever done.
Julie and I are going down the stairs and she says, that's our train, that's our train. Come on, we can make it. And I said, no, we're not. No, we're not. She gets on the train, the doors close and it leaves. I'm on the
Yeah.
platform. So it's like, goodbye.
I'll be on the next one.
So we go to the stop where we're going to transfer the trains to go back out to Silver Springs. She's there with the 4,000 of her closest friends waiting for me.
I remember when I was stationed in Groton, Connecticut, we drove down to New York.
Mhm.
We were pretty broke. I remember we got turned around somehow. We could not find the highway. Somehow we ended up on Long Island.
Oh, okay.
And we were almost out of gas and broke, and we barely scraped up enough money to take the ferry back up to Connecticut.
Wow.
Barely scraped up enough money to do that. That was
Plastic would have been out of Western.
back then. Nobody really carried plastic. Everybody either had cash or.
Well, I know that
Are
a
you-
serviceman to have a credit card. Wow.
So
Well, part of I went down there with a couple of friends from A school, and one guy he had a debit card, but there was no money in the account. I had no money. They were supposed to pay for the gas to go down there, and we were going to just have a day. I was driving. And I don't know what happened. We had the gas to get down there and back, and everything was going to be fine. And we got completely turned around. And the next thing I know is we're out, and it's dark, and I think we were on Long Island. I'm not even sure that that's where we were. All I know is there was ocean everywhere around us, and I'm like, this ain't right. I don't know where we are. We found a ferry terminal that said that it would go back up to Connecticut, and it was like $35. I'm like, we got to scrape money up because we got to do this.
the only way we're getting home.
It's the only way we're getting even close. And
So I'm hitchhiking. I'm out in the middle of Kansas. The wind is blowing. It's just relentless. It
Yes,
just
it does.
wears you out. And a couple stops under an underpass quarter of a mile up. I've been out there for an hour, nobody's slowed down even. I run up there and said, I'm trying to hitchhike back to Kansas City. I'm looking to see if I can get a ride. And the guy says, well, you don't have any knives or guns, do you? It's like, well, I'm an axe murderer. I specialize in axes, no knives, no guns.
I do carry around some hand grenades in my pocket though.
I was hitchhiking and got a ride from a woman in Florida that wanted to see my pack. And at the time I was carrying one of those army duffels.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So I'm pulling stuff out. Okay, and then she has me put it in the trunk. On a plus. This was in Florida, and I got a ride all the way to Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay. And I co-drove. She had a little, what was it? Had Lotus suspension, an Isuzu. Neat little car, fun.
Well, we are in person next week. I'm going to shut down because I did see them. They were standing there for a couple seconds.
They'll be back.
They'll be back. So I'm going to shut down and put all this junk away.
Get out of there.
So long, folks.
We'll see everybody next week, hopefully.
Take care.
Bye.
I was
See
briefed.
you later.
Bye.